Hey guys, and welcome to the Australian Reptile Park. Thank you for joining us, and we're so happy that we can bring you this live stream in COVID lockdown. We'll be doing these streams every day for the foreseeable future, and tomorrow we have our Elvis live stream. But today we have koalas, and as you can see here, I've got Manny. So Manny is a 2-year-old male. He was actually hand raised by our curator here, Haley. And he is a very cuddly and lovable koala. Now, you can't actually do this with koalas in the wild. They are quite aggressive, so if you do see some, don't go running up to them. They do have very sharp claws, as you can see on my arm, and they have very sharp teeth. So, Manning here is a male koala, and a couple of distinguishing things about koalas, males and females, are, if you look on Manning's chest here, you can see a big scent gland. See this gland here? So he's a big male and he's in his prime, so he'll go around and scent all the trees, and he tells all the male and female koalas he's around. He's like, hey, I'm this big 2-year-old robust male in my prime. And he keeps other males away, and he attracts females in. They have a home range, and you usually have a male koala in that home range. And he has usually a harem of a few females around. Now, they are solitary animals. They don't usually live together. They'll live up in a tree solitary. I'm just going to give him some leaf because he's a little bit hungry. It is actually their food time. So at the reptile park, we feed them at 1 to 2 o'clock every day, and they know it's their feed time. So koalas they sleep around about 20 hours a day. There's only 24 hours in the day, so that's a lot. And the main reason they do that is because the food they eat is not very nutritional, and it's very fibrous, so it takes a long time to digest. So these guys have to hunker down for 20 hours while they digest their food, and they get all the nutrients they need to. Koalas do drink a little bit of water now and then, but they mainly get all their water from their leaf. Now, there's around about 800 different species of eucalypt in Australia, and they only eat around about 80 different species of those. And they have some browse species as well, natives like tea tree, wattle, but eucalypt is their main diet. So out of the 800 species, only about 80 of those they eat. And it's one of our biggest jobs here at the Australian Reptile Park. So before this, me and Hewan were out for about 4 hours finding eucalypt leaf. And we have to ID these. So every eucalypt is different. And this one here is called Grey. And you can see that he is loving it. So a couple of cool little facts about koalas. And a couple of their traits is they're closely related to the wombat. And they have 3 fingers and 2 thumbs. You can see that. So they have actually evolved one of their fingers into a thumb. And this is so they can go down the tree backwards, so they don't have to go head first. If you also look at their little pads, if I can open that up for you, they actually have individual fingerprints, just like us. So if a koala does a crime, we can tell who it was. So these guys, we have around about 38 koalas here at the Australian Reptile Park, which is a lot of koalas. As you can see, they're all around us here. And we have 6 joeys in pouches, which we'll get to that in a little bit. We'll come and we're going to go and see a female with a joey that's just come out of the pouch recently. So their breeding is around about from October all the way through to April, depending on the heat. So the heat actually kicks their breeding in. Females can go into estrus whenever a male's around, so they can bring themselves into estrus. And they'll bellow. So they have this big bellow, and I'll do it for you. It's like this, which travels all the way through the canopy and attracts females to the male. Usually around breeding time, a male will bellow here and it sets all the other males off. So breeding is around for 6 months in those warmer months. Once the female has bred with the male, it's only around about 35 days for gestation, which is not very long. So the joey will come out from her cloaca, and it's the size of a jelly bean. So it's not very big at all. When we go to one of the female yards, it comes out of the cloaca here and actually climbs up into the pouch, which the pouch would be around here in the female. And that joey is pink. It only has its head, 2 front feet, and no back feet. So So it's very underdeveloped. So it has to, mum goes into like a position like that where she hunches right over, and the joey will make its way up into the pouch. So it's only going from instinct and smell of milk. So mum has to be really still at that point when the joey's going up. Otherwise, the joey could fall off and mum's not going to know to pick it up. So the joey will stay into the pouch for around about 6 months. So we age joeys when they come out of the pouch, and that's around about 6 months old. So they stay in that pouch and they are fused to the teat. Probably about 3 to 4 months, they come out of the pouch and they start papping. So this is the horrible part of the koala, which I don't like talking about, which is pap is mum's poop. So the joey will stick its head out and nuzzle mum's cloaca for about an hour till all the old poo goes out, and then they make this nice sticky yellowy poop, which comes from the top of the gut here. So if a joey doesn't get that pap, unfortunately they can't eat eucalypts. Eucalypts are quite toxic. So they need the enzymes and the gut flora from their mum's pouch, mum's poop, to actually be able to eat leaves. So once we see pap happening, we know the joey is not long to come out of the pouch. And we might jump in, I might put Manning back and we'll go and see Elsa. She's a female koala. And then we might check out Tree's joey, which her name is Tippy. Just bear with me.
All right, we'll go see Elsa. Now, Elsa is one of our quite famous koalas. She's known for her fluffy ears. And here she is. She's just so gorgeous. She's a bit cheeky, so she might try and grab the camera. And Dean's got a little snack for her here.
So here's Elsa. So Elsa has a twin sister called Anna. Oh, not a twin sister, sorry, a sister called Anna. And Anna's over in this yard here. So Elsa is another very cuddly koala. We actually handle our koalas quite extensively, and this is to get them used to us and the public, and so they don't bite us and things like that. So in the wild, koalas are quite defensive. You've got these big, really sharp claws that stick into the tree. When we pick them up, they do go into our skin a little bit. You can see Elsa here is not really liking my tip that I've got today, which is grey gum.
So when you say tip, what does that mean? Is that
so? As you see here, we give them a lot of leaf. The koalas can't go and get the leaf, so we give them as much as we can. So you've got mature leaf, which is these big leaves, which is even harder to digest. Or you've got this young, supple leaf, which is called the tip. So the tip is usually just that top, I don't know, 30 centimetres. And this is what they eat. And this is pretty much all they eat. So our koalas here get very spoilt for choice. We have to get them around about 5 or 6 different species a day. And obviously the one that we've got the day before, we try and get other different species the next day. Now on the coast, there's only around about 15 species that are endemic to this area. And some of those are planted also. So the favourite things like Nicolai and Scoparia are not found around these areas. So sometimes we have to travel for up to an hour and a half to find food. Which is a big job. It takes us around about 5 hours a day. We love our koalas, so it's not really a job when you're out in the bush cutting trees down. We're going to go over and see Tree and Tippy. So this is Tree, and this is her first. This is the first joey out this season. So we'll try and I'll just offer her a little bit of leaf. See if she likes that. So while we just wait for the joey to pop its little head out, so a couple of other things about koalas. Their fur is really soft. So unfortunately why they're such in deep decline is in the early 1900s, these guys were actually trafficked for their fur. So I think in the before it was banned, there were 8 million koalas culled for their fur. So their fur is double layered. It's short and long. There's 2 layers to it. So it's waterproof. So these guys can sit out in the rain and they don't get wet. It basically just rolls off their fur. So these guys used to get their pelt sent over to the US and the UK to make hats. before we realised that that decimated the population. And this is why we've got such trouble with the koalas at the moment. So they reckon in 2050 koalas will be extinct in the wild, which is a terrible thought. And our recent bushfires also decimated the populations. So a few things you can do to help them is we like to live where they live, so it's urban degradation. We put freeways through their habitat and isolate genetic populations. So things you can do is lobbying your local council if you have koalas around your area. Planting trees, food trees, so researching what trees they like and planting those instead of non-native species. Keeping your dogs locked up, and also just keeping your dogs locked up so they're not running around. And looking out for them at night time, especially between October and May or April, because that's when they're on the road looking for their partners, and they do tend to come down on the ground a lot at night to go to the next tree species to eat. So yeah, they have really fluffy fur. It's very soft when you feel it. So as also you can see, these guys are dark on top and light on the bottom, and you might be wondering what this is and why it's like that. So it's just like a great white when it's in the ocean. They have light underneath and dark on top. So predators can't see them, and they're stealthy. So for these guys, they can sit up in the tree. If eagles are flying past, they can't really see them. And from us down below, or predators down below, they blend in with the sky. It's very good camouflage. If you try and find koalas out in the wild, I love koalas. This is why main reason I came to work at the reptile park. Trying to find them in the wild is quite hard. When you're looking up, it's really hard to see them. They just blend in, and they can sit up at the very top of fork of the tree. Very cute, aren't they?
All right, Dean, thank you so much for all that information. What a great chat.
So guys, just remember, if you're in New South Wales and you have a Discover voucher to use, you can pay it forward to help us support kids in need. It's easy. Exchange your voucher online, get a discount code for the reptile park, and we'll donate your double pass to your selected charity. Kids everywhere deserve to experience the wonders of wildlife. Help us share the fun.
All right, thanks so much,
All right,
Dean.
thanks guys. Join in tomorrow. We're having live streams every week while we have COVID lockdown. And tomorrow is our Elvis one. So we'll see you there. Bye.
Thanks, Dean.